Well, good afternoon and welcome to the patio. It's a little warm today. It's a scorcher, folks. Adjust the camera, but don't touch that dial. Sit back, relax, and enjoy me. Grab your adult beverage of choice, and let's have a little virtual happy hour here in the patio on what is, I believe, let's see here, Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. It's Wednesday all day, Vaughn. And glad you guys are along. Time to roll the open. And actually, probably a better idea to turn down the volume. But let's roll the show open. Here we go. It's time for virtual happy hour. Glad you're along. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, yeah. Glad you're along here on a Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. A warm one here. Not quite as bad as it could be. The open sign is on, so let's bring that the open down there. Glad you're along. Good to see Don out there, and also Connie checking in as well. You're asking, what is he doing? What is this guy doing? Isn't he on this Facebook thing enough? Well, without two things. A, no T-bone season, so I'm kind of bored. B, we are in the current state of whatever you want to call it, COVID, pandemic, whatever. So let's check first off before we roll too far along what day it is. Remember this little widget I have here? It says 4, but because it only went when they had this widget for this broadcast first created, I don't think anybody thought we'd be around 100 days. And now it's being put that down just a little bit there. But volume and audio sound good. Thank you very much, dear. Hey, Connie, good to see you. My wife will be joining us here in a few moments. In a few minutes, rather. But yes, we never would have thought that it would be day 100 plus. We're at 104. Probably the last mild temperatures we're going to have here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and I say mild, 88 it says there. It's not 88. Let's go ahead and check that. 93 degrees here. That's the current temperature. The high was 94 about an hour ago, but it's kind of the last little gasp of sort of springish weather. I say springish because it's 90, a little high for spring, but we're going to hit the triple digits this weekend. We expect 100 degrees, our first triple digits in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and throughout most of Texas, the Lone Star State, almost entirely from really up around Amarillo all the way down to Beaumont and down to really almost down to Padre. It's going to be 100 degrees throughout the Lone Star State coming up this weekend, and we'll be in that stretch. But hey, we made it to almost, just shy of middle of July, and not quite yet been at triple digits, and we'll get in that stretch where it'll be probably 28 out of 40 days, something like that. But anyway, so you want to join us? There is one way to do that. You can do it right here. I got several things for you, but there is the link right there. Again, as I mentioned, WD-40, the lovely and talented wife who is just lapping the field when it comes to getting in shape. I think I'm doing good, doing 40 minutes of walking. She's walking the dog 30 minutes and riding the bike for another 6, 7, 8 miles. This woman's a machine. And all the while putting beautiful flowers up, which, they're a little heat sensitive today, but I can probably put those pictures up. Do I have them? Let's see if I can find them from yesterday. I think I do have the fine flowers. Here we go. I'll download one for us right now, and we'll put it in the system here. But anyway, glad you're along. Keep me busy. Keep us all busy. My mom usually joins us off the top. She is currently, I believe, at Detroit's airport in Michigan and picking up my brother and my youngest brother and his lovely wife and his youngest son, I do believe. So and they're driving from there to Ann Arbor. My nephew is doing the college tours, quote unquote. He did William & Mary, Virginia, North Carolina, but they're all I say virtual. They're all They're all drive-bys. It's just driving on by and waving. How you doing, University of North Carolina? You might be a good school. I don't know. How you doing there, University of Michigan? You might be good. I don't know. And that's what he's doing. So all good. The young man is phenomenal, and he pretty much had a pick of the litter and checking out some schools in Michigan. Then he'll be going to Michigan State and then to Notre Dame. But again, waiting for the chat to kick in as well. I mentioned the picture I want to show you guys of the patio. Give me just a moment to find it. This is one from Instagram. Put these on Instagram yesterday, I guess it was. And my wife tells me now when she comes on, and I ask her because I'll give you guys a live shot of them, but this is what they look like. And this is literally, this was within 24 hours. These things she planted on Monday. We woke up yesterday to this beautiful plant right here, flower plant. Are flowers? I guess flowers are plants, right? Is that like saying that pizza could be for breakfast or dinner? Is that kind of the way it works? But let me find it here for us somewhere. Oh, sorry about that. All righty, let's try it again here. Been a busy day for me. I got up early and had a broadcast already today and working on one for tomorrow night, as well as a radio broadcast for tomorrow. So I've been pretty busy. And it's also a little warm out here, so the mouse is acting a little funny here. Let's see if I can find it. I pulled a photo up for you, but exciting, riveting content, isn't it, folks? I mean, you got up and press watch, and this is what you get. I promise it's going to be worthwhile to see this lovely photo. This is why we do broadcast prep before the broadcast. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. Here is the photo. The photo. This is what the wife did. She actually did 3 of these plants, or potted plants, whatever, pizza for breakfast, we're going to call it. Here is this is a beautiful shot. And I kind of thought, well, there's no way these are going to be around tomorrow because it'll be 90 some odd degrees, but how wrong I was. If I can find it for you. For this computer, and it is probably the heat not helping out. There we go. There we go. Here's the photo right there. That is what the wife did, and it is beautiful. She also did another hibiscus that's sort of blooming, but it looks like it's waiting around, and then some more down in another little place, and she'll be joining us in a moment to chat about that. But again, glad you guys are along. That is what it looks like. Beautiful shot right there. Well, what else is going on? Let's see here today. Had a baseball show today. That was fun. Dylan Tice, our mate with the T-Bones, who now plays for Milwaukee, was on the show today. If you're watching now and you're wondering, or watching in replay, where can I find that? You can find it on, I've actually repurposed it on the T-Bones page. My traffic's gone down quite a bit because I'm not on the T-Bones page. It's on my page, but oh well. But if you are a T-Bones fan, please share that. And you can also find it on my YouTube page as well. But good stuff today. What I did learn today, interesting tidbit today, I'm going to put this up for you. You're going to look at this picture and go, boy, this is old school. It is old school. This is the 1911 Wyoming State Prison All-Star team. And what makes this State Prison All-Star team so special is that they were literally playing on borrowed time. They were all on, at that time in 1911, what would constitute death row. They were all in for something besides pet. They weren't just petty thieves. These were murderers, rapists, you name it. They were the lot. And they were the 1911 team, complete with Bat Boy, too, which I still find this very hard to imagine. In 2020, you'd have a Bat Boy that was actually a Bat Boy in a convict team. But oh well, 1911 convict team. They went 4-0 in that year, and they stayed their executions for at least a year. And then after the season folded, after the 4 games in 1911, they met their fates as they should, as justice was served. But I discovered that today. We talked a bit about that today on my show, The Steakhouse, and that was I share that little bit tidbit with you as well. Other thing too. Now, this is for you folks in KC, you folks that are perhaps major Chiefs fans. I want to show you this. This gentleman right there is very, very wealthy. He's also doing Guns Up, which I thought was more fitting to show him in a tech uniform than a Chiefs. I know he won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, but congratulations to Patrick Mahomes, a good Red Raider, who is now a very, very wealthy man and making Dak Prescott's contract all that more hard to attain by Jerry and company here in Texas. But we'll worry about that down the road. But yes, very, very exciting. There he is, Patrick Mahomes. Congratulations to Mahomes, a Red Raider who, by the way, Whataburger's coming. Whataburger's coming to Kansas City. You folks in KC, look out. You're going to have the greatness of Whataburger in your background, in your backyard. Let's see here. Will it go on the AATV page? What will go? I don't know what that means.
Your steakhouse.
The steakhouse does not go on the American Association page. No, it does not. The steakhouse, the shorter version does, called Steakhouse Bites. That will go on there, but no, the entire show does not go on there. Just for the record, okay, here we go. Now, again, this is what I said today. This is exactly why I shouldn't even use the phrase, the terminology, because Smarty Pants there's telling me, just for the record, because they got the death penalty doesn't mean, okay, all right. The justice of their sentence, I get, okay, the sentence was finally carried out, all right, if you want to, I don't know, I mean, you kill 2 cops, probably not good for 2 state troopers in Wyoming or whatever state policeman in Wyoming, probably got what was coming. I don't know. I'm not trying to be Mr. Sociologist here and debate all that. My wife is the smarter one. I'll let her do that. So, yes, Mahomes there. All exciting. So the green room is open if you want to join us. Again, I mentioned Mom usually joins off the top, but she is currently en route to Ann Arbor, I believe. And again, she was forced to sit at the airport in Detroit. She got there a little early from Elkhart to Detroit. But, oh, boy, good luck with all that. And, all that stuff. Okay, what else I got for you today? Oh, yes, I wanted to give you guys, I mentioned this on Monday. I did not get a chance to show this to you, but I finally got the videos downloaded. This is what our 4th of July was like here. Yes, you may be jealous. I don't know. Here was a 5 o'clock somewhere. This was a what we call a traffic jam on the grill right here. Traffic jam on the grill. Let me pull this down for you. This is our grill traffic jam. The entire, everything we had in the house ready to go, and it's all right there. There we go. Pull it down just a little bit, the volume there, but you can see we got the grilled corn, the big jumbo shrimp, lobster tails, got some strip steaks there. We're rocking and rolling. The grill was full. That was a full grill. That's a big time traffic jam on the 4th of July. And here was the finished product right here. I'm going to show this to you. The finished product, I'm going to quote was the ultralight. Finished product. I'm still salivating from Saturday. This was the Saturday, 4th of July here at our house. There's the corn. That's what it all turned out. There is the shrimps, prawns in Australia. There you go. And you can see it right there. There's your steak, your lobster tail, more shrimp. And that is 4th of July right there at our house there. Come on camera. There we go. And that's what we had here at the house over the course of 4th of July. So I promised the video. And yes, there you go, delivered. I know you guys are waiting with bated breath on that. Let's see here. Jump on Kevin. Kevo is in St. Paul, but that was a day game, right? So Kevin may be driving back from St. Paul back to Minnesota. So he's driving. Okay. That's what I figured, because he had a day game there. I figured he'd stop by Buffalo Wild Wings, have a cold one there next to the ballpark in Sioux Falls, the cage. What makes the Birdcage Sioux Falls so great? A, the hotel's right across the street, and B, the other side of the parking lot's Buffalo Wild Wings. What more could a fat kid want than baseball and Buffalo Wild Wings? Lots of beer. So I watched actually watched several Australian rules footy games there at that Buffalo Wild Wings. But yes, jalapeno cheddar sausage tonight. The wife informs me. Again, put the show link up right there. So there's kind of what's going on here today, sort of, I guess. Trying to think what else had on my list here today. I for some reason my computer's just maybe because it's so freaking. I'm probably looking at one more day out here, maybe Friday, maybe not. We'll see. But it's definitely probably not the ideal temperature out here. But actually, the laptop doesn't feel too bad. It's not too bad right now. So I mean, you get 90 some odd, 93, 94 degrees. Kevin says today there was zero atmosphere for the games. I did not watch the game today. I will admit I didn't watch the game today. Zero atmosphere for the games there. I didn't see them. I did get your comment that it's open air, and yes, that ballpark has no awning, so there's no place to hide. I don't believe – I'm trying to think here. The only day games I've ever done there, I believe, have been Sunday. So there have been Sunday games there, and those have been usually getaway games. And the last time I did a Sunday day game there, I believe would have been 2017, where we had a rain delay right at the start of a Sunday game. Waited because the final game of the series, we waited and got it started around 6 o'clock at night. Didn't leave Sioux Falls till like 10 o'clock. I believe we were going to Winnipeg from there. I think that's right. But that was only day game I've been to there. Let's see here. Connie asked, are schools? Yes, I believe so. I saw the superintendent of schools in Dallas today was on the cable news, and he was very adamant about that. I noticed the White House was adamant about that. I'll have GM come on and join us in a moment because she'll be able to give you more of an insight into the schools. But if we have high schools, junior highs, elementary schools remotely, we some really pissed off parents. I don't know what you could do. I don't think that's good. I just don't think it's possible, especially young kids. But you're gonna have a lot of really. It's a bad situation, but I believe Texas. The plan is, and what I saw from the governor yesterday is that he is planned on, at least the state's planned on, going forward. Now, the teachers, TEA is called Teachers Education Agency. Is that the union or is that the group? Kind of a pseudo union here in Texas. Texas is not really big with unions anyway, but that's kind of the teachers union. They were a little still wait and see on it, but I did see that the task test, which is a big standardized test they do. They did announce a date for that, which made no difference. I don't know why they're doing a date for that yet. They haven't announced officially when school will open in various places, but I know they're planning on it. David, good to see you as well. Pretty much covers all the odds and ends. As I'm going to pull a few things off the screen here while we talk amongst ourselves here. Pretty much wraps things up as far as odds and ends. What else? Everybody else do? What are you guys doing today? Kevin saw some baseball. Kevin, was it odd? I guess my question to you, Kevin, if you can't join me live, was it strange watching St. Paul be a home team in a road park? And when I noticed last night, I ran the video this afternoon on my show at lunch when you were at the ball game, how odd it was to see Sioux Falls win a game last night in their home park. That wasn't the odd part, but they were the visiting team, but to see no celebration. They all kind of walked off the field as if, because usually you had the long line of high five, high five, high five. Everybody high fives each other. You know, the entire bench meets the team, the coaches, everybody meets and does the long. It's the baseball line, and I saw three guys kind of high five out by second base. Everybody else just walked off the field. It was very bizarre, very, very. Just something you don't see anymore. You don't see that. Even in the big leagues, you see everybody celebrating, hey, way to go, good job, and you didn't see it last night. So a bit of an odd deal. But Lovely and Talented, are you ready to slide over and join us here? As she is joined us here in the patio. I'm going to give the link. If you do want to join us in the green room, I'm going to slide your chair over just a tad. There we go. And I will pull these down in case somebody does join us. Audio apparently is all good.
Yeah, the audio is good.
But if you join us in the conversation, I kind of bring this down just a tad here. This is Couple Cam, my lovely wife, Gabe Marie, and also known as WD-40.
I have a
I've discovered a new favorite drink, as you know, this week, and I love it. It's so good.
Fresco.
No, it's that diet ginger ale with vodka and a lime.
Huh. No, that just sounds like a real exciting time there for you.
It is really
So
good.
you had a big major developments there. What else is going on?
My car got broken into.
Yes, that actually we don't know when that happened, but I was
I'm gonna blame Caroline.
well. I
'Cause she should have saw it.
Yeah, she should have saw it, but I just was I grabbed some water. Was about to actually had just pressed start on the
I
T-Bone
knew it was
show,
bad timing.
and I saw that. And yet I did the entire T-Bone show for an hour, not knowing if it
What
was.
that meant.
I'm thinking maybe they broke the glass in. Didn't know, and she went and I think she ran errands in her car that was broken into, so I didn't really know any more details till she got back. So
My guess is that it was somebody who literally just ran through to see if the cars were unlocked and rifled through the contents. Because after you showed the picture of the plants, after I was getting everything, unloading everything from the back of my car. And then once I got everything planted and I was so dirty, like muddy from being in the hands of the dirt, I went inside to clean up, and then the day got away from me and I forgot. So I must have just forgotten to lock my car, which I never do. I never forget. In fact, sometimes when we come in from places, I lock all three again just to be safe, all three cars. But I didn't lock my car. It was weird because, I'm completely, so when I opened my car and I realized that everything that looked like it spilled out all over my car, it was like, was somebody looking for something? And then I was like, wait a minute. Somebody's rifled through my console, rifled through my glove box, and somebody has, I have the little sunglasses thing at the top, and somebody had gone through that, and the sunglasses were gone.
yeah,
And they were cheap $10 sunglasses, but I'm guessing they took them thinking maybe they're worth something, and I'll, find out later. But I'm sure they're in the trash somewhere because they aren't worth anything.
good to see Jeff Miller time out there today, bud. It was. I had this vision of you having a broken. Broken.
They didn't have to try very hard.
Tell me about this too before we get to the school thing. This is the picture of the hibiscus here. Let me take this down so you guys can see it a little better. That's one of the shots of the hibiscus.
Yeah, they
look a little rougher today.
Well, because in the afternoon, I've noticed that they wilt a little bit in the heat, but they come back up. They'll be alert again in the morning. The flowers in the very back by the gate also look very lively in the morning, but not so much. Max, get out of there. But not so much in the afternoon as he's stepping on my creeping lantana.
He looks like he's like on his last legs.
I know,
walking
he's
back.
so
It's
hot.
Get out of the sun, dude.
And then the other one just has a whole bunch of things that are about to bloom. So
I can see those are about to bloom. So do you water them? How often do you water?
Well, I Googled to see how do you care for these plants. They said that right after you plant them, water them every day for about a week, and then go to every 2 days. After that, the soil needs to be moist, not wet. So I looked into that. I forgot what kind of plants they were that I planted in the back, so I don't really know. But because it gets so hot, it's certainly not going to hurt them to get water. But most of the plants that I planted are all plants that like full sun. So
hibiscus is a big player in the South Pacific and Australia, and that parts of those tropics. It's a big tropic flower, so it's used to having a lot of heat.
Makes me think of the Starbucks drink.
It makes the hibiscus. Also, it's if you like really good cinema, and if you watch that because put that on there. Hibiscus Island is a mythical island that is in the movie Muriel's Wedding, an Australian classic, and I love that movie.
Why don't you have both Millers?
But Nate, you can see Nate. Miller times two. Got both of the boys out there today. But yes, it's the mythical island, which actually is in the movie. It's actually shot on Heron Island, which is in Queensland. But Hibiscus Island is a mythical name of this island, and but yes, the hibiscus refresher or whatever it's called.
Well, in the morning and the evening, they look very happy, and they're supposed to come back every year. So I don't know I haven't really researched enough to see what I need to do with them in the winter because it's not like I'm putting them inside.
Right.
But rumor has it that they last and that they'll come back.
So what's the rumor?
So we'll see.
Rumor has it, folks. Rumor has it. There we go. The rumor has it. All good. So Connie asked a moment ago, are
About
schools
schools.
planning on reopening? Your
That's the
take.
million-dollar question.
Your take. I know the government. A little bit. Texas kind of announced yesterday that the union or association.
Yeah, it's a Texas Education Agency, and they sort of teachers pay dues to it. Public school teachers pay dues to it if they choose. I don't think it's mandatory, but there are other big teachers unions. That is just one that is here. They're also in charge of like teacher retirement funds, which are totally screwed up. Not getting into the politics of that because I'm sort of out of that because I've never taught in public school, so I don't have public school money or anything like that. But they manage all of that, or mismanage. I should say they mismanage all that. But yeah, I don't think anybody really knows. I think they're everybody's best guess. I think everybody wants us to go back to school, but they want us to go back to school in a way that is safe, and that's where it's tricky because we have a lot of teachers and students who are immunocompromised or older, and they don't want to feel like they're risking their life to go to work. But at the same time, I mean, like there's so many parents that are now back to work. They can't just stay home, and it's not their job to teach their kids. It's hard to do that just with internet access broadly across the big city. DISD swears that they'll make sure that will happen. But how do you do that? Let's say you have 6 children and you have internet access in one computer. How do all those kids go to school online all day? I don't know. I mean, we talked about this before when we went into online education in the spring, but it's just difficult. I mean, it's difficult to engage small children. I mean, it's difficult enough to engage teenagers, which is what I do. But, my guys are pretty driven. If they knew they had to do it for a couple of months, they'd be fine. It is certainly not ideal. We all want to see each other. We are in a fortunate position where I teach just that we have room. I mean, our campus is large. Our rooms are large. We have a very low student to teacher ratio. My big classes are usually like 15. So we can space out in a room. But that's harder when you've got 30 kids in a standard, classroom in a public school. It's just a different thing altogether. So I don't know. I think that people are a little wary just because cases keep going up. If we can get that, under control, mitigate those cases, rising every day, we'll see.
Well, definitely, it's a strange time. Now, I tongue-in-cheek joke about this, but as a high schooler, I'd have been like giddy. I've been like, well, this is great. Although the only thing for me is I was in my activities. My fall activities, football. Who knows what I'll be doing?
They're talking about moving in the spring.
My spring activity was baseball. My summer activity is baseball, and then I'd play some soccer in the spring, and then I'd have drama, in the spring as well. I mean, I can imagine. I mean, basically, it sounds great on paper, but
you just have drama.
Well, I mean, drama, but but you'd have been. It sounds great. Oh yeah, I can. I guess the perfect pandemic for me, circa 1985 would have been, or 84, 85 would have been a pandemic where you could still go to school and play sports, but not go to school and do school. That would have been the perfect pandemic. And then I'm thinking of my time at Tech. I'm thinking, well, online would have sucked because I would not have been able to go, well, we would have found a way to stay in Lubbock and do something at the Simcoe Lodge and do something. But we would have found something to do. Maybe just turned it into a whole semester of parties that we wouldn't be. I can guarantee you that
you've done nothing but get in trouble.
I can guarantee you that I would have been no better. There was some guy saw, I don't know what they're calling this guy, COVID Carl or something, but he was out and about and he exposed everybody to COVID and he didn't care and he was really over the top about it. No. He was some kind of Instagram or YouTube, I forget. I saw the brief thing of it. Anyway, this guy was kind of shamed by it. Now, of course, we're our canceling culture, but I mean, he was like, I didn't mean to cause you harm. I'm thinking, boy, my delinquency back in college at number 16 Greek Circle, I would have probably been, we would probably been out there partying, sitting around, not going to class, COVIDed up the place. So that's what we were done.
You wouldn't have needed COVID for that.
No, it'd have been crazy. Connie says, my grandkids are going back restrictions includes masks, social distancing. My grandkids are in middle school. I can imagine getting 5-year-olds to keep. Yes.
No, I think of Stephanie. I mean, Connie, as you well know.
Yeah. Making a 5-year-old on
Can
that.
you imagine having 30 kindergartners on a Zoom session? I mean, I think I would rather be set on fire after one
Well,
conversation.
can you
with
imagine
Michelle's
the moms
kids.
and dads in the background?
No, I mean that's just
Yeah,
absolutely not
we did
ideal.
a family-wide. We did two of them.
We were tired.
We did a family-wide Zoom call back in May, I guess, April,
Yeah.
May. We
April.
did several, but we did one where we did the entire and had the grandkids on, and those two are like 2 years old and 1 year old or
They're like
something.
the
I mean,
Energizer Bunny.
but I'll hold those kids again.
Tegan's probably 3 and Declan's probably 5, 6.
I mean, they don't shut
maybe
up.
7.
They're
3 and
they
7.
don't stop running, stop pooping, stop talking. That's the things they do. And we get off that call. I got to tell you, I hit the bar here and just started pouring down whiskey. It was like I was exhausted from sitting in a chair watching them and hear them go on. So you only imagine. Can you imagine a kindergarten class, even a first or second grade class?
No.
The kids are sitting there, and of course, mom and dad got to get. Now the kids are smart enough; they can probably get on Zoom. But what happens? Little Johnny starts playing around with his toys.
They do.
He's distracted, and all of a sudden, mom's got to come in and put him back in the chair. And what a mess!
With tech savvy kids and with teenagers, you because you can, as you all probably know, you can go to Zoom and just have your name if you have to get up or whatever.
Or stand up, put
So,
your pants on.
we're like, no, you need to I need to see your face. But they've also taken screenshots of themselves, looking like they're paying attention, so it looks like they're there. That's their background, but they don't have to be there. But they're.
Well, I put the
You would
screen.
have figured that out.
I put the screen off, the video off the other day, so I can put my suit on during a conference, during the T-Bones meeting. I was putting my suit on as we were talking. Last Wednesday. But that's crazy. I don't know.
The boys do that to joke. They of course attend class and whatever, and some of them do it with other kids' pictures. I mean, they're funny because they just they try to make the best of a less than ideal situation. But
I mean, I was. And I was able to do this in high school, and I do not do this. Young people watching do not do what I did, but I had the hookup on the tardy slips, and I was able to get excused slips.
Yeah, but you can't do that on.
No, now these days you can't do that. Now it's all now as a sub now as a substitute teacher at my same school. I was able to. You now have to either call the attendance in. It's electronic, and all that. Well. Back in the day, I could just excuse myself with a little written note.
Well, I remember signing.
That'd been perfect for the
I
pandemic.
remember Tammy Flynn could sign her mother's name perfectly.
I don't know if she wants to be thrown in the bus right now. Poor gal.
And man, we wrote so many notes from her mother excusing us for something. Little did she know.
Yeah, well, again, I long answer, but again, my wife is. I mean, she's. Here's and I mentioned this on Monday, because basically I'm going to use Harvard as an example, and I looked it up. It's $46,000 a semester, basically. You're paying 40. We're going to see Craig up there in Canada. You're paying $46,000 to go virtual. They're going to be online. As a matter of fact, the Ivies are not going to play football, which there's some debate if they actually do play football. They wear uniforms.
Don't say that. I have several boys who
they
play.
wear uniforms, but it's not like Division One. But it's
boys who play.
Okay, but
Ivy League football.
they're canceling Ivy League football this fall, which besides the Harvard Yale besides the Harvard Yale game, it won't really raise much on the Richter scale. That being said, basically what you're doing is you're paying $46,000 to go to Harvard, so you can go to basically University of Phoenix, Cambridge campus online. I mean, and these young men that go to Harvard, Princeton, wherever, young women who go to these schools, it's competitive to get in. It's the hard part's getting in. Then you got to stay in. But now they get in. But now where do they get? They get in and get the same education online as.
We were having this conversation
wherever.
In my cohort group chat at SMU, because it's not cheap to go to SMU.
No,
either.
SMU ain't
it's
cheap.
Every bit as much as Harvard. So
Maybe more.
The whole idea of and we were having to pay these exorbitant fees as graduate students. We're like, for what? We can't use anything. Like, surely they're going to refund us our fees. I got an email a few weeks ago that my professor is taking the class online, which is way less than ideal to me. I mean, I have to just sort of block it out of my mind for now and hope that I've had enough distance between having a Zoom to be okay with doing it. But the option is, and I've said all along, I even said it, I think, in this venue, that if it goes online, I'm out. Because I was so burnt out at the end of last semester. But at the same time, it's like, you have to keep moving forward. And I think, particularly given the fact that, we've got college students in the house and I teach boys, and I basically say, you got to, when you're dealt with something difficult, you face it and you keep going. You don't just give up. So I kind of have to put my money where my mouth is and just keep going.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I think we're still. Well, today's the 8th, so we're.
Yeah, I ordered my books, and so as soon as I finish the 2 books that are on my desk that I really wanted to get to this summer, which I'll probably get through this week, I'm going to try to tackle some of my reading for next semester, so I can get ahead of the game again. Which is what I usually do in the summer anyway, but it makes for a little bit less stress. I wish I had paper topics I could start researching now, but
yeah, it's crazy. I mentioned this morning to my conference call, the T-Bones family, that right now Victoria in Australia, which is Melbourne, and there's 2 teams and 2 baseball teams there, Melbourne and Geelong, and they've had a real outbreak there, and now they've got supposedly some, they've had the borders closed in the States. Of course, getting from state to state ain't easy anyway in a car. Some of those states, especially from Western Australia to Victoria, that's like a 3-day trip, and it ain't easy. But the flights have been also closed down. I'm getting worried. I'm like, this thing got to keeps going this way.
We're all going to be dead.
Well, besides that, but the one good piece of news is, and I think this was documented by Ryan Hyatt. I haven't seen Ryan check in today, but Ryan, a dear mate of mine out in Lubbock, who does a phenomenal job with his shows out there, he brought this up. This is something that's not been reported, and that the recoveries have gone through the roof. I mean, people are getting over this thing. And
our death rates
have gone way down, and the recoveries have gone way up, which is good news. There was a stretch there where,
if you're trying to find a silver lining, because there's so many positive cases.
Getting sick or whatever is not good, but it's almost the point now where it's
maybe it's not as deadly.
That maybe it changes to just a different name than pandemic or whatever. I don't know.
But the thing is you just don't know how it's going to affect your body, and so the best you can do is do your part. Wear the mask, wash your hands.
Yeah, that's a politically charged question, but again, crazy.
It shouldn't be. And again, even if we're politically charged, and again, this is the crux of my study. Even if we're politically charged, we should be able to have a conversation. We should be able to disagree and have people share their ideas and how they feel without having somebody cancel somebody because they don't share a majority opinion.
That's the way we're in right now. So everybody's really scared to say.
Have to stop.
Everybody's really scared to say too much because they're afraid to get canceled.
That's going to have to stop. This isn't the country where we cancel people. This is the country of second chances. I've said this long before. This is the country that spearheaded the whole idea of tolerance. Where is our sense of tolerance?
But that's not the way it is right now. We're in a stretch where we're. I usually say this all the time. The U.S. is a very forgiving country. We give people all the time.
Second, third,
the NFL, the National Football League, maybe the king of second chances. They gave guys second, third, and fourth chances for some of the crap they did. Now they finally clamped down a bit. But that being said, we're now in a stretch where that's not. Why is that?
Well, because I think that traditionally most of the people who were early founders, most of them subscribed to some kind of form
of
Christianity.
I'm talking about the NFL.
No, but I'm getting to that. Is the whole idea of you forgive 70 times 7. So that's why there's so many. We'll give them another chance. Give them another chance.
You're always gonna get another chance in this country. That in all free countries, that's the good thing. But right now, the other chance is not popular. Now that'll change. I think it'll go back to
one and done.
When people start kind of sort of. That's another thing. I don't know if you guys realize. You may not remember this. But yesterday was the 4-year anniversary. I couldn't believe it was 4 years.
The cops.
There was a protest going on in downtown Dallas 4 years ago today, and they had a guy, that active shooter, that went and he wound up shooting. I believe he killed 5 or 6. Gosh, I can't remember 5 or 6 policemen, uniformed
Yeah.
policemen, in a shootout, and it was
He was targeting police
targeting
officers.
police officers, targeting white police officers, and I'd forgotten all about this. And that was a real hot button in this city at the time. And the police chief at the time, Dave Brown, who's now the police chief of Chicago, well, he's got a mess on his hands there, doesn't he?
Kidding.
But,
Murder capital USA.
I'd forgotten all about that. And again, that's how fast things move in this news cycle. 4 years go by.
15 minutes.
This guy was trying to kill policemen, and now we're 4 years later. Now we wanted to fund him. It's just it struck me as a bit odd that almost 4 years to the maybe 2 weeks off, we wanted to fund him. And I'm not trying to get political because that's not what I want to do here. But I just thought it was crazy, and that's the culture we're in right now. And it shifts. It shifts. I have a really cool thing. Yeah, cool thing tomorrow. I've been a part of a deal, and it's tomorrow morning. It's a group of guys from my church and guys from a church in South Dallas. It's our sister. I say sister church, but we're
Brother
not
church.
brother church, whatever. We work.
Partner
We did a lot of things together,
Partner church.
and it's a group of moderate white guys and a group of moderate black guys, whatever you want to call us. We're all going to get together. We did it last week. It was really informative to hear them. What's really informative to hear people like-minded like yourself from their point of view. That's the cool thing. We're all in the same boat as far as.
Well, we're not good at finding common ground. We're good at pointing out where we differ, and what we need to do now more than ever is find common ground.
I'm looking forward to it. It's really kind of cool. And again, I did it last week. It was really informative just to have the conversation and a real cool environment. But that's pretty much what's going on this week. Anything else? By the way, how was my wife experienced for the first time over the weekend? I didn't get to ask you this on Monday, but the lobster. What did you think?
Oh, it's my first lobster tail.
I thought you had it in Australia, but apparently you did.
Yeah, it was like lobster
moray, but that's still lobster. But
yeah, with cheese. Ooh, yum. The lobster tails were delicious. Yeah, I couldn't say enough good about that. I was surprised. They tasted a lot like. They're kind of like buttery shrimp. It was good. I mean, I love shrimp. I love grilled shrimp like that. The steak was good. That sirloin was delicious. The corn was the best. It was the sweetest corn. We're going to do that again on Friday, by the way. We need to go to the supermarket and get some more. Yeah, 2 thumbs up to everything. I liked everything. What sounds it like?
The wife enjoyed the lobster, so it was all good stuff there on 4th of July. We didn't venture out. We talked about it on Monday, but let's go on the rest of the week.
Can we go to the pool? Because you got a new bathing suit. Maybe we can talk about that.
The apartment pool. No, I don't think I'm doing that.
Apartment.
Apartment pool.
Stop calling it that.
It's just so random.
Yeah, you got a cute new bathing suit. He did. He got a cute new bathing suit. What's on it?
Not really.
Beach themed stuff?
I don't remember, babe.
It's cute.
Whatever.
We should go to the pool.
I'm glad that you're
at 8:30. That was a great time to go. Nobody was there. It was very cool.
Maybe Friday. I can't do it tonight.
With Tommy and Christy, we're going to go to
Friday.
the pool.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll discuss our schedule. No one really cares about our schedule, but we will.
Well, you asked.
Yeah. Anyway, but what was going on the rest of the week for you? I mean, what do you got going on?
I tutor tomorrow. I'm helping one of Maxwell's friends with his college essays, and I am. That's my parents.
Well, you better answer the phone.
I will. And I tutor Josh, who's at his summer home in Maine, so he doesn't have to stay here in the heat. So I tutor tomorrow, and then I think that's it for this week, other than just reading. And then I've got stuff on Monday. I was going to start doing some planning for next year with my department chair, and I think Lynn's going to come because she may want to do what we do the year after that. So,
all right, sounds like fun. All righty, well, that is the lovely and talented right there, W40. Love you. Thanks. There she goes, folks. There's the wife. That's wife couple cam there as we kind of wrap things up for virtual happy hour a Wednesday, and good stuff. Always good. It's good because she's a smarty and makes me look very, very, very well, not as smart. Put it that way. How about that? We're doing a jalapeno sausage. Actually, went to the day I went to the store on Saturday, 4th of July. I found the corn. Love the sweet corn. Had I bought the lobster tails, and I already had the steaks and the shrimp. And as I was walking through that section, I turned around and went to the meat, the other part, the fishmonger side. I went to the meat section across the way. Butcher side. Big spread of brats and sausages. One was a jalapeno cheddar, and I haven't had a good jalapeno cheddar sausage in a while, so we're going to fire that up tonight and see if we can make a little jalapeno cheddar sausage on the grill. So that's what's on the grill tonight. And speaking of grill, you can check out other items like that right there. The Broadcaster Can Cook. It's up for you right now. You can check it out. A couple of episodes there. We'll be filming another episode coming up later part of the week. We're going to do some ribs that'll make some Broadcaster Can Cook. Yes, he can. As the waistline shows, he definitely can. Tomorrow, a couple things tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow, too. A couple of items. First off, early in the day tomorrow, if you're a T-Bones baseball fan, I'd love to have you join me on the T-Bones Greatest Hits show. It's on MixLR, and I'll pull this graphic down so you can see the MixLR graphic. MixLR is the location there, and it's really MixLR is kind of, how do I describe it? It's it's an audio it's an audio platform where we actually use for our Kansas City T-Bones broadcast. We carry our T-Bones broadcast on MixLR. It's a pretty easy place to find. Go to mixlr.com and type in Kansas City T-Bones. You can find us there. But that'll be tomorrow noon. And what I do is I go to take a T-Bones great game and replay it and do a little commentary with it and break in and just keep you guys occupied for a couple of hours tomorrow starting at noon. And that's an audio presentation tomorrow. So join me there. Of course, always the show tomorrow night. It usually will be tonight. We're actually moved it to tomorrow night. I'm and this is a new graphic here. If I can pull it up for you. I don't know why it's so slow or kind of crazy here. There we go. This is the show Paul Morgan and I do. It's called Talking Baseball Australia, and it is. There we go. Put it up for you on the screen. And there it is. There we go. Talking Baseball Australia live with myself and Paul Morgan. It'll be tomorrow night. It is going to be 9:30 Central Time here. That's 10:30 a.m. on a Friday in Australia, in the western part of Australia, which makes it 11:30, 1:30 in the hour live, and also on Talking Baseball Australia, which is where our show is on Facebook Live tomorrow night. And you can also find it on my YouTube channel, which, speaking of the YouTube channel, that YouTube channel is up and rolling as well. My channel's right there. There they are. There they are right there. Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Love to have you guys follow us, follow me right there, and keep you informed of what's going on in a busy, busy world here in the Vaughn household here in 2020. Well, that is the end of the show. Yeah, we've somehow got to the end. It's the time I hate the most. That close sign goes up. You know, the old close sign, the neon close sign. If you remember the honky tonk, you know that's a bad sign. It means it's time to hit the bricks, hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. We will for another show. Again, Friday, it'll be, again, 5 o'clock Central Time, right here, 5 until about 6 or so here on Facebook Live. And we'll do our virtual happy hour and do it all and just have a good chat and keep us all together as we all kind of try to fight through this thing here in 2020. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me. Hug somebody close to you. Love somebody close to you. Show the love. Please, let's be better today than we were yesterday, and so on and so on. Let's keep doing better and better and loving those around us. And blessings to all of you guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you guys on Friday. And let's roll the close in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go.